Hi there, it's Dr. Kathleen Cannon, and we're back with the vitamin alphabet. Today we're talking about B3. So vitamin B3 is niacin, and active forms of niacin include niacinamide and also NAD and NAP. NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and the P stands for phosphate. So NAD and NAP, those two active forms, are largely involved in your cellular energy pathways, how your cells grow and maintain themselves, and your DNA repair. B3 is also involved in your metabolic function, and it can help to reduce elevated cholesterol levels, although it is important for you to work with a doctor if you're trying to achieve that and not try to do that on your own, because there are other considerations there. Deficiencies in B3 are going to impact those pathways that it's involved in, not surprisingly. So B3 deficiencies are going to impact your cellular health, your cellular energy, especially your DNA repair mechanisms. It can also impact your metabolism. An extreme B3 deficiency can result in something we call pellagra, which is characterized by diarrhea, dermatitis, and dementia. We don't really see that around here, but it is a more severe form of deficiency. And on the flip side, you can actually have too much B3 in some cases, and it's not so much that the B3 accumulates because it is water soluble, so you generally excrete what you don't need. However, if you take too much of it at once, it can have different effects in the body, including a flushing reaction, which can be scary if you haven't experienced it. It's generally pretty safe, but it's another reason why you should work with a doctor if you are supplementing, especially heavily with B3. And B3, too much of it can also impact your liver function and your blood sugar. So just things to be aware of and reasons to work with a doctor for B3. So B3 testing. So B3 testing, there is a urinary test for nicotinic acid that's really a great reflection of your body's B3 status. There are other urinary and blood tests that can point towards your B3 levels as well. Food sources of B3 include things like poultry, dairy, eggs, nuts, fish. Tryptophan is also a source of B3. It's a precursor, so tryptophan-rich foods can be helpful there. As a side note to that, if you are being tested for B3 levels, you may be asked to limit your tryptophan intake because it can contribute to B3. B3 again is a water-soluble vitamin, so generally pretty safe. However, you do want to be careful with it, especially if you're taking it on its own and in a higher amount. So always good to work with a doctor if you're doing any of that, just to be safe, because again, with that caveat above, you can have some side effects from having too much in your system. None of this information is for recommendation purposes. It's all for educational purposes. So I hope you found it somewhat interesting, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. May you be well.